Hello guys, are you still looking for fully funded scholarships in the UK, covering your tuition, your living expenses and other costs? If your answer is yes, you're in the right place, but you have to act as soon as possible. So for instance, look at this opportunity on your screen, still available, still accepting applications. It covers your full tuition, whether you're home or international students, covers your stipend, and even gives you £5,000 to cover other costs. There are other opportunities like this around the UK, and we'll be looking at them together. So this one is at the University of Warwick. We'll be looking at some opportunities at Coventry University. There are about 20 of them. And then we'll be looking at this one, the Ayonda Motors Group Scholarship at SOAS, School of Oriental and African Studies, University of London. So these are the opportunities to be looking at together. Bring out your pen and paper as I talk you through the applications requirements and strategies for applying. So welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is Victor once again. It's another day and we have another scholarship. In case you're new to this channel, you're welcome, but where have you been? There are hundreds of videos already on this channel on fully funded scholarships from around the world. So look around, I'm sure you find something that catches your interest. And if you're a returning viewer, a returning subscriber, thanks for coming back, thanks for the constant support, and I hope you find the scholarship sooner than later. So let's get into the meat of this video. So the first scholarship we're looking at today is the one at the Coventry University. So this scholarship is for those applying for PhDs, but the good news is that even if you just have a bachelor's and you do not have a master's, a number of them would allow you apply directly with a BSc or a BA directly to a PhD without a master's. So that's good. So do not worry if you do not have a master's already, we got you covered. So there are different opportunities and different departments. So hopefully there's something here in your area of interest. What you notice here is that the topic or your PhD project has been delineated for you. So meaning that the supervisor already has crafted out a research question, a research objective. What you just need to do is to show that you have enough interest in these areas and that you can carry out research in these areas based on your previous qualification, based on things like your work experience, based on things like the courses you did in your undergrad or in your master's. So for instance, look at this project, Resilience of Pastoral Societies to Socioeconomic Change in Central Kenya. So let's look at that together. So if you're into agrarian science, if you're into rural technology, if you're into climate change resilience, especially on the African continent, this would be a very good research for you. You can see here that it is open to both UK and international students for full-time 3.5 years. The deadline is the 27th of May, and then the interview date will be confirmed, and you're to start this year in September. And this is the professor in charge of this project, and if you have questions you can reach out to him for further clarification. As I said, the project objectives have been outlined for you already. So the professor has already done the homework. He just needs a PhD students to help him carry out this research. So it means it's good news for you. But what you can just do is to demonstrate that you have some knowledge in this area, in pastoral adaptation, in climate change resilience, and then you're ready to do work with him. So this is the objective of the paper, of the research, and you're meant to read this closely and see how it relates to your research interest, your previous academic interest as well, and previous research. So it is funded. You have both your tuition and bursary covered. And then to apply for this, you just need a 2-1 in your bachelor's and get a minimum of 60%. If you have a master's, that's even very good. English proficiency, they want you to have this IELTS exam with 7 minimum. The good thing here is that if you don't have this IELTS exam, but you've studied in the English language, you can also get an English waiver. So I've showed this in my previous videos how to get an English waiver. Just go to the search bar and look for, type here English language requirements. I'm not going to be doing that now, but I've done that in previous videos. English language requirements, and see the countries with English language exemption. So that's the work you have to do yourself, to avoid spoon feeding every time I do these videos. So try to do that yourself and check if you qualify for a waiver. And as I said, a number of people who already did their bachelor's in English language wouldn't need to submit any of the English language tests. Like, if you know the indigenous language is even an advantage. If you know how to speak Swahili, it's an advantage. And knowledge of pastoralism, like herders, farmers, resilience, climate change, of course, that's like in the core of the project. What else? And these are the documents you are told to provide. A statement of 2,000 words, and things like your CV, your transcript, and the rest of them. Then you apply here. So check for other projects and see which one is in your area of interest, which one is your area of focus. And there are different fields. You have economics, you have biology, you have climate change, you have peace and conflict, you have sociology, and the rest of them. Hopefully you find something that catches your interest. So should we move on? Yes, let's move on. So this one at Coventry is open to all students, both home and international. Let's go to Warwick. This scholarship at Warwick, known as Warwick Pathways PhD studentship, is particularly for Black students or students with Black heritage. So usually those coming from the African continent, or those whose parents or grandparents came from the African continent. So either those international students who will be coming in from the African continent, or those already based here in the UK but with African descent. So this opened in March, is closing in May, and the outcomes hopefully in June. So what does this cover? You get your full tuition, whether you're home or international student. You can see that here. Let's make this bolder. Then you get your maintenance grant. We can even check what this maintenance grant covers quickly. So this is what you receive as your maintenance grant, and so you get 20,000 a year, broken down into monthly stipend, over 1,700. Very generous, very generous. Then you get a training grant. So this will help you attend conferences, go for special trainings like summer schools, like methods workshop, and things like that. And most times you do not pay taxes on this stipend that you receive. So eligibility, we've seen this already. Black students or students with Black heritage. Then you must be current. You must be current Warwick PhD offer holders. So it means by now you should be applying. That's why I said you should apply for this as soon as you can. You should be applying to the University of Warwick for a PhD, and must be eligible and must not already be enrolled on the PhD program at the University of Warwick. So you can apply now and make sure you get an offer. So you can still qualify for that. But if you're already in the university, like your first year, second year, you cannot apply for this. So nominees must receive an offer to start a PhD at the University of Warwick in October, okay? So you must receive your offer by the 2nd of May. And this means that it takes about a month to receive an offer. So it means you have to start applying as soon as you can. Start applying now. The application process is also here. So I think I don't just want to read this out because you can read out on your own, but just to show you that the step by step process is also on this website. So good luck with that if you're interested. In case you have to write things like a CV, like a motivation letter, even like a research proposal, there is no problem about that. Just go to my channel. We have samples. So go to the home tab We have samples of these documents, like how to write a motivation letter, how to write a statement of purpose. I read out my statement of purpose here, how to write a research proposal if you're expected to write one, how to contact professors if you're expected to do so, and even how to write a CV for scholarship. So all those are here. So in case those documents come up, just read through or watch my videos. You've got them sorted. I hope that's clear. So from Warwick, let's go to SOAS. So a Yonder Motors Group giving Masters and PhD scholarship. You can see here Masters was over 27,000 and PhD as well. Then you get a stipend of 22,000, over 22,000. And the departments eligible are College of Development, Economics, Finance, Law, Anthropology, and Politics. The deadline is the 25th of April, which is not far away. So how do you apply for this? Quickly, this scholarship is open for masters and PhD. It will be funding 4 masters and 1 PhD, and usually for students from the African continent. So more masters, 4 masters, 1 PhD. It said that the masters, you get this amount of money, this 20,000, 27,730 pounds. However, it might not cover your stipend. But what SOAS often does is that they find another small scholarship to help you cover your stipend. So do not worry. So this will cover your tuition fees, and small might remain, like let's say 3,000-4,000 might remain. So SOAS will find one other small scholarship added to that, enough to cover your stipend for 1 year. So do not worry if you do not, that doesn't cover your stipend. But as a PhD student, you get everything covered. So your full tuition is covered, and then you get a stipend of over 22,000 for the entire 4 years of your studies. So how do you apply? You can see the eligibility here of the courses you need to apply for. Let's see, African national, international students. So one of the masters in one of those fields they mentioned earlier. They prefer a first class, but 2-1 shouldn't be dissuaded, but they will prioritize first class students. The same thing for the PhD, they will prioritize those who got distinction in their masters, but those with merit should not feel discouraged. Also apply. Also try to meet the English language requirements. You can also search for waivers for English language requirements and check the university page to see if you can get a waiver. So what do you do now? Rush and apply to one of the eligible courses as soon as you get this video. Start applying, because you need an offer from one of those courses to apply for the scholarship. So you can see this is the first step. Apply for either a master's or a PhD, and then apply for this scholarship. So this is the scholarship form, and this form, as you might see here, we can open that together. This form would ask you for application ID. So it means you need to at least have started applying for either the master's or the PhD to get an application ID. If you do not start, you wouldn't get an application ID. I hope that is clear. This is to prevent people from asking in the comment section, how do I get an application ID? First, you need to attempt at least apply for one of these. When you just start applying, you get a number. That number, you can use it to apply to this form as well. And so you can do that simultaneously, if that makes sense. And then by June, the winner or the winners of the scholarship will be announced. So in case you asked or you have like questions, or they ask you like an essay question, or why do you want to be considered for the scholarship and things like that, that's fine. There are essays on my channel. So this is still my channel. So these are scholarship essays, like why do you need this scholarship? Why this course? What is your future goals? All these essays cover those questions. So you might want to take a look at them and see how you can draw tips from here on how to answer those scholarship essay questions. So this just covers your basic details, but probably in the subsequent page, this is page 1 of 4. In page 3 or page 4, you'll be asked questions like that. Why are you a good student? Why do we want you here? So then you tell them about your solid academic credentials, what you graduated with the first class or strong 2-1, the project you've done, your work experience, and things like that. And then you might show them about your financial state as well and say, I want to do a master's, I want to do a PhD, but I do not have enough resources to fund this. So this scholarship is a perfect opportunity to fund my master's or a PhD. And after this degree, I'll be doing ABC, XYZ. So things like that is what they expect you to write. And that's it, guys. I hope this was useful. Fully funded master's PhD in the UK. So whether it's SOAS, whether it's Coventry, or whether it's Warwick, these opportunities are still open, but start to apply as soon as you can. The deadlines are around the corner, and most of them expect you to apply, especially here at Warwick and then at SOAS. Apply for the course separately and then return for the scholarship. Here at Coventry, just one application. So just one application, you're considered both for admission and for scholarship. So I hope that is clear. As usual, guys, we cannot wait to celebrate you. And there are hundreds of other videos on this channel to look around. So apart from these ones, check for all the scholarships that are still open as showcased on this channel. And I'll see you at the top sooner than later. Bye-bye for now. Cheers, and do not stop winning.